But Ed, Ryan Ripken posted about progress of Mayo and Holliday. We've talked about their success being sustainable. Sometimes it just takes a little bit longer with prospects, and even then, this could end up being fool's gold when all said and done. I don't believe that. I think that we're seeing Coby Mayo get a little bit more comfortable. I had more confidence in Jackson Holliday becoming an upper echelon player than I did Coby, but we knew the power was there. It's just kind of nice to see things coming together for both of those guys.
I agree, and this is, my frustration when I see, particularly with Holliday, when they were sitting him. Like, you don't. He's a young guy with tremendous potential. You think about the hype about him when he came up to the majors. But he's not gonna get to where he needs to be without reps. He's got to see everything. He's got to play every day, and that's what you do with your star players. I'm sick of these these righty lefty days off and things like that. Like, I want to see him every day because he's got to learn to hit everybody, and his numbers are incredible. I mean, look at his on base percentage since July 1st. It's fantastic. It's well over 400.
What did they say going into last night's game? Mayo was just 2 RBIs short of Gunnar Henderson and 200 less at bats.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's an indication on how bad Gunnar's been or how much better Coby's been recently, but it's probably a combination of both.
And then Holliday's batting .310 since then with a .430 on base percentage. To me, .360 is the benchmark that I like to see. .360 on base percentage. He's .430 right now. So, I mean, he's looking really, really good. And I want to see him play every day for the rest of the season.
Do you think he looks real good today, or was it just yesterday?
He paid a lot of money for his chain.
All right, man. But, just watching last night, it's another one of those games where you feel totally different coming in the morning depending on a win or loss. And I know they won last night. You have a chance to win the series instead of avoid the sweep, Ed, your favorite phrase.
I love that one.
Yeah. Ooh, got out of there with that win.
Oh, they avoided the sweep. Yahoo.
But Shane Baz is going today, too. And, he's been the guy. Every time he's gone out on the mound, he's been way better than you think, and the Orioles tend to make some error that gives up a run.
Give no run support either.
Yeah, that's the other thing. And today's a great hitting day, so we'll see what the bats do. But again, nice to see that. And I brought up the comments earlier today from who was it? Tyler Wells was on the Ryan Ripken podcast talking about why he loves it in Tampa Bay, and he goes, not everybody's. I don't know if this is a shot at the Orioles or not, or if he's just praising the team he's with. You can read into it how you want. But he said everybody here is not trying to hit a home run. It's very selfless. Move the runner over. Make sure we get in a scoring position. Nobody really cares about the bottom line except for that W. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of how it should be, but you're not always going to get that.
Well, but that's how they play. And they are doing it that way. So, I mean, I think that's factually correct. Mm-hmm. It just is. I mean, I get a lot of crap because I think I'm really impressed with the Rays. I find them a fascinating organization. I mean, did you send us anything about the payroll this morning?
Who sent that? The payroll? No, it wasn't me. It must have been Rob.
But it's like, the payroll's ridiculous. It's so small. I think it was $120 million. I'm doing this from memory, but it was like a third of what the Yankees is. And
I got it right here.
And they have a 6-game lead on the Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive what they've done. And I even said earlier that I think the Orioles, it was Dan Clark that tweeted it out. That's why you didn't get it from me, because that guy's a douchebag. Hey, live in Australia and tell everybody you got inside information everywhere else. Yeah, okay. Anyway, payrolls in 2026, $120.2 million for the Rays, $338.2 million for the Yankees. So, yeah, you're looking at $210 million in difference of payroll, and they've got a better team. There's 6 games, and there's 6 games in front of the Yankees now.
Yes.
They just keep winning.
I know.
They made some of the best moves under the radar, I thought, at the trade deadline that nobody talked about, because they clearly needed help offensively, and Liam Hicks adds that. They added a couple of pieces that I think are really going to bolster that team. I still think what Boston's been doing has been just amazing, but we'll see if the shine comes off of them anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what's to me what's even more impressive though is that they're not doing it this season. They seem to do it most seasons.
Yes.
Where, they put together that roster with, spitting the promise. They're putting money into it, and yet they're always competitive. They're always a threat to take the division. If not, they're a playoff team. I just think that it's a great model. And I can't remember what caller it was earlier. He said, "Can't we get somebody from the Rays to help us?" Because I've said that over the text thread we're on.
What do you mean? The Rays have all our former players. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
up the middle. I mean, you got Brian Baker, you've got Cedric Mullins, and now you have Tyler Wells. You've got Brandon Hyde in the dugout. So I mean, it's like the Orioles South, except they've been doing a better job with it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. Watch Freddie Peralta become Freddie Peralta again.
I just said to everybody else, I said that poor bastard got welcomed to Tampa Bay. They said your first starts in Coors and your second starts in Coors Light out there in Sacramento. And I literally just said this yesterday to somebody. I said, give it 2 or 3 games and watch. He's going to look like Freddie Peralta that I wanted on the Orioles in the offseason. So,
that's what I think is going to happen too, because I know it's exactly that. I had this conversation yesterday.
Did we
with
talk?
The same bartender. No, with the same guy, the Seahawks fan who is the bartender down here. He's a huge sports fan, and we were talking about Peralta. He said, "Yeah, but look where he was pitching," and that's exactly right.
Yeah, that sad ass Mets organization, man. Who'd be a fan of them?
Terrible, I know.
You don't even care the Knicks won, so what am I saying? You'll bask in that for the next 10 years.
We're blue and orange for the rest of my life.
Hey, when's the last time you've been to a Knicks game?
Oh, boy. Since I lived in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a long time. Last game I went to, I saw them play the Raptors.
They were called the Knickerbockers then, right? When you... Sorry.
Yeah, I did. I went to a Raptors game, and that was the last time. And part of it's because we talked about, earlier in the show, is the tickets are so ungodly expensive now.
Yeah.
Like, and then, you see a ticket price. You don't go by yourself.
Well, that's what always makes me laugh when people are like, we need to bring the NBA to this city. I mean, we say it about Baltimore all the time, or why can't we get a third team? If you look at the NBA and NHL, it's more white collar than anything else. It's almost like going to the Super Bowl, because you're going to have fans there that mortgage their future just to go to the Super Bowl. But you got a lot of rich ass people that can afford to go, that are a little stuffy, that are there just to show up and say they were there. And I feel like with Knicks games, unless you're sitting way up or you overpaid for tickets, it's probably the same thing.
It's so funny you say that. One of my observations over the years, because I went to a lot of Caps games too. I just love hockey, so I'd go to Caps games because the woman who was their PR person, she credentialed me because I talked about them on our show. She heard it going to work and said, "Hey, would you want to get credentials and come to cover the games?" I said, "Absolutely." So she did. So I go to a lot of games. So I'm at a restaurant prior, and I see a bunch of guys. This is exactly what you were talking about. They were wearing like $4,000 suits, $1,000 shoes, and then they took their Caps jerseys and pulled them on over that. It was like that was the crowd that night. I was like, wow, this is really odd.
It's odd to go to an NBA game and realize that that's a white collar sport now, because all the seats that you want to see a game, or if you want to sit in one of the suites that they have there, it's not the same thing. I mean, they need that type of money coming in to support the team. And that's the sad part of it. And
actually, the woman, Katie Hedman, now is with the Golden Knights.